Here with me now, it is America's Newsroom anchor, the legendary Bill Hemmer at the Billboard. Bill, great to see you. Tell me what's going on now in Ukraine.
We have stop me anytime, interrupt me, whatever questions you have. We'll try and sort out what we think the aims of the Russian military have been over the past 24 hours. It's like looking through a straw a little bit, right? Taking in different data points and different reports and try to put a story together here. What I would begin with is Crimea. You know, this is an area that they took in 2014. They had an established military base set up for some time, Kennedy. And it looks like they had very little resistance when they came out of Crimea 8 days ago. Where did they go? This Mariupol was their #1 target. Now, why is that? It's a city of about 400,000 Russian-speaking. Vladimir Putin had this on his bullseye for the past 8 years. Why was that? It was because the Ukrainians held on to this area during the war over Crimea and eastern Ukraine 8 years ago. This area has been getting shelled for about 3 days now. First from the water, Kennedy, and from land as well. And some of the images come out of there. You're going to see some stuff that is similar to what's happening here in the north with these shelled out buildings and the trees that are just incinerated on the side of the road. That's what's happening in Mariupol. So what's the objective? I'll take you in just a little bit here, and I'll put you. I think this, Kennedy, is the story of the day. That's southern Ukraine. I explained this Crimea here, Mariupol located here. Apparently, there's been a push to the west as well. This town of Kherson here. That's a town of about 300,000, mostly Russian-speaking, Ukrainians as well. And this comes down at the bottom of the Dnieper River, all right at the mouth of the river. If you can choke off this river avenue here and you take control of just about the entire Black Sea, you have now created yourself an entirely new entry point into this war for the Russian military. So what's the objective over that, or after that, rather? Town of Odessa is about 1 million people. We are told that is the next target. Difficult to confirm right now, but it would make sense if you wanted to occupy the southern part of the country. I'll take you up to the north and just let you know what we're picking up on right now, what we think is happening. This, according to senior defense officials and also some of the movement on the ground. They believe, in large part, that the Russian military is stalled in the north. And why is that? You know, they were making such advances up until about Saturday or Sunday, you could argue. And then all these reports about the Ukrainian military fighting back. And this seems to be the line, really, that's held Kennedy for a couple days. Now, whether this changes tomorrow or overnight tonight, we can't say. But that seems to be the point as far as they've gotten toward the city of Kyiv. Now, just come forward one time here. And here's the city. Here's the air base. And you hear a lot about this convoy. Convoy hasn't moved. And there are 10 different theories as to why it hasn't. Not one of them has been confirmed. But this runs up a road here a little bit. Kennedy goes about 40 miles to the north and to the west a little bit. And it's been sitting there, sometimes stacked 2 and 3 across. And if they are able to make a move on Kyiv, the capital city, the thinking is still that they would surround this town, and in all likelihood, they would pound the ever-living daylights out of what's left of the 3 million people who occupy this city. So we'll watch that. We'll see what comes of it. And here's Kharkiv, this 1.5 million people in the northeast. It hasn't fallen yet.
That's the second biggest city.
Yeah, what's that?
That's the second biggest city.
That's right. And
that is still in Ukrainian hands, correct?
Yes. Yep. And really just about 20 miles across the border from Russia. It was, for lack of a better phrase, it seems like it was an easy target for the Russian military because they had set up all these military camps on the other side of the border, and they were prepared to go in. If you look at Kharkiv on a Google map and look at like the streets, the way they're drawn, the thinking is that they're going to ring this city. It's not exactly a circle, but it's pretty close to it. And that's what they've been doing. But the city has not fallen yet. The only city we believe that the Russian military has taken is, here you are, is Kherson in the south.
Yes. And we heard that today. Obviously, yes. Odessa is the big one because they want to choke Ukraine off from any imports from the Black Sea.
Yep.
So that's where they do all their business. That's where the commercial business is done. That's how the country survives and thrives. And so Russia wants to cut them off there, but it's hard to know whose propaganda to believe because as Russia lays it out, they've got, you know, advances, they've got victories, they're demoralizing Ukraine. And if you listen to Zelensky, he's telling a very different story that's also being told on social media about, you know, smaller acts of bravery and heroism that is thwarting the mighty Russian army.
I thought an extraordinary thing to see him hold a press conference today in the middle of all this. I mean, really amazing. Took all the Western reporters into this room, and he chose to speak in Ukrainian. So he wanted to make sure that his own people were hearing him. Last point here, the refugee crisis. As of today, it's over 1 million people. And that number's only to go higher, and unfortunately, perhaps much higher.
Yeah, and Putin doesn't care. But you know what? Luckily, Poland, Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, they do care.
Right on.
And they think Russia's a bunch of big, dumb jerks, at least the government, not the people. And they're going to do what they can to help those in need. Bill Hemmer, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Great to have
your
perspective. The Billboard. Love it.